Hey YouTubers, Christopher Wanamaker here doing a new cooking creation video. I found this recipe online a couple of years ago. I probably do it about once a year. It's called French Toast Baked, and it's a several step process. So one of the first things we're going to do, because it's quick and easy, we're going to go ahead in a small bowl. We're going to make the topping mixture first. Then we'll get into the main mixture of the liquid that you dip your bread in, and then put that in a deep dish pan that's been buttered. And then you're going to then take the rest of the French toast cinnamon, liquid dip, and pour it all over the bread slices, and then cover it up with like tin foil or plastic wrap or a hard plastic lid cover, and pretty much let it soak into the juices for several hours or even overnight before cooking. Then once it's been soaking in all the juices for several hours and refrigerated at the same time, you pull it out, and then before you put the main toppings on, you'll add one more thing to the toppings mixture, which is a thing of a quarter cup of cold butter. Mix all that in, then put that on top, spread it all over, then put it in the oven for 350 degrees between 60 to, sorry, no, not 60, 45 minutes up to 60 minutes worth. And the longer period, if you want it more than 45 minutes, is to make it more crunchy, firmer, hard. So 45 minutes at 350, baking it, and then up to 60 minutes if you want, if it's too soft and you want it to be a little firmer. So then, and then the very last thing, of course, dish it up, put it on a plate, and you'll then either you can do just normal, like pancake syrup of some kind, maybe a side of cooked bacon if you want to, or sausage or something like that to go with it. If you want something else than just the French toast. If you want to go a little bit more gourmet baked French toast, you could add, I do like, canned whipped cream or some Cool Whip from a bowl. You can add, Hershey syrup, chocolate chips, Ghirardelli, caramel or chocolate syrup. You could add whatever additional toppings to make it more like a dessert and make it more gourmet. So, now, normally this recipe calls for sourdough bread, sliced sourdough bread, but you can use other breads, Texas toast, for instance, good thick bread, or other things. I went to a local bakery that I found out about in Le Center, Washington, which is a couple miles east of the A Casino off exit 16, which is 2 miles north of my apartment complex. And it's known as Sadie and Josie's Bakery, and they have all types. I mean, donuts and pastries and fritters, loaves of bread, fudge stuffed, chocolate-covered coconut and almonds, and muffins, and it's a old school bakery with several different baking cooks. So that's why I went and I originally got a thing of cinnamon swirl bread, and then realized, I probably should have gotten 2 of those. I went back today, and they didn't have any more of the cinnamon swirl, so I'm going to do a mixture of 1 loaf of sourdough bread and 1 loaf of cinnamon swirl bread. So, going to get a little mixture fancy, get a little experimental, which is what I love to do. I love cooking. So let's go ahead and make all the basic mixture ingredients for the toppings, and we're going to add everything in a bowl, put a lid on it, call it good, and then the very last thing before putting it in the oven, we'll be adding cold butter, a quarter cup of cold butter to the mixing toppings, mix it all well, and then put it on top. So we're going to do that because it's quick, fast, and in a hurry. Then we're going to get to the actual French toast dipping liquid stuff. All right, so first thing it calls for, and this serves up to 8 to 10 people for a full pan of this. So 1 cup of chopped pecans, all ready to go. I already got certain things ready to go. Sorry, there we go. And then quarter teaspoon of grated nutmeg. So quarter teaspoon nutmeg. Okay. 1 teaspoon of grounded cinnamon. This is the toppings, so it's a little separate from the actual liquid dipping mixture. So 1 teaspoon grounded cinnamon. Okay, done there. A pinch of salt. Good. 1/4 cup of brown sugar. 1/4 cup. And then it's pretty much done, other than do a quick mix. And the only thing right before putting it on top of the French toast that's ready to cook would be add a 1/4 cup of cold butter, which you add very last, right before you add it to the toppings of the French toast itself, right before cooking. So that is all ready to go. Put a lid on it. Okay. Now we're going to go into the actual dip that you dip all the bread into, pretty much make French toast. Now, this type of French toast is a little more unique because you're not making it in a frying pan, and there's a lot more ingredients to it. It's more high end. That's why there's a lot more to it. So you start out with 8 whole eggs. I've already broken them in the bowl, ready to mix. But we're going to mix other things in there before we start whisking it. So the next thing in, after the 8 eggs, 1/2 cup of sugar. Uh, 2 tablespoons of pure vanilla extract. Make sure I did the right thing. 2 tablespoons worth. Okay. Good to go. 1 teaspoon of grounded cinnamon. One 1/4 teaspoon of grounded nutmeg. 1.5 cups of whole milk. Got the whole milk right here, 1.5 cups worth. And then 1 cup of heavy cream. That's everything mixed, and then just got to mix it together, whisk it together really well. And the very last thing is the loaves of bread itself to dip in the mixture, put it in the pan, pour the remaining liquid onto the bread in the pan, and then cover it up and let it sit and soak for several hours or maybe overnight. And then this portion is done. And then once it's soaked, and you pull it out, uncover it, 350 degrees for the oven, and at least 45 minutes, if not up to 60 minutes of cooking. Maybe even do a side order of bacon, fry up some bacon for a side, dish it up, add either just, normal like pancake syrup on top of the French toast, or you can even add other things, like I said, Hershey syrup, caramel syrup, chocolate chips, whipped cream from a can, Cool Whip from a bowl. Make it as gourmet as you want. So this is it's a bit definitely more time consuming, more involved, a lot more ingredients, but it is oh so good. It is pretty much a gourmet French toast. If you've never had it before, it blew my mind the first time I made it. This is probably the 4th or 5th time in my entire life I've made it. So it's really, really rich. The biggest thing, you got to follow all the other ingredients, the instructions. And it's pretty much just what toppings do you put on, and what's your side gonna be, and what kind of bread are you gonna use. Those are the main things you gotta choose. But do everything else the same. Almost done. One more second. Alright, so everything is pretty much all done. It's ready to go. Sorry, one of the eggs didn't get smashed, I guess. Okay. Start with the cinnamon swirl bread that I got. I'm going to dip it in this. Get it in there. Really let it soak in. Make sure you wash your hands really well before you do this. Let's get this closer to the pan. Okay. Yeah, this is big enough. The pan is going to be big enough for 2 full loaves of bread. So, get 2 full loaves of the same bread. Do do two different types of bread if you want. The main instructions say for sourdough bread, but you guess you can use normal white bread. It'll probably fall apart easier. You want thicker bread is what I recommend. Sourdough, cinnamon swirl, Texas toast, thicker bread. Better it will stay together. The only thing that's bad about the cinnamon swirl bread is kind of like cinnamon rolls, so it's not a solid piece of bread, so it's falling apart a little bit. That's fine. Never done it with cinnamon swirl bread before. Done it with Texas toast bread, and I've done it with the sourdough bread, but never cinnamon swirl. I just thought it would be an interesting combo for cinnamon French toast baked recipe. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the sourdough bread, but as you can see how it's diagonally stacked like that, that's how you want it. Okay, now we're going to open up and do the same thing with the sourdough bread. Cover it up and put it in the fridge, and this will be part one of the video. The other part will be pulling it out when after it's all done cooking, and then get ready to serve it and put it on a dish. So, leave that off. Yep. A few seconds. Last one on the pan. Okay. All right. Okay, and then you take the rest of the mixture according to the instructions, pour it over the top. Now you cover up the deep dish pan with plastic wrap, tin foil, whatever you have. This pan has I got a clear lid that clamps down and that has a handle. So then you put it away in the fridge to store for several hours worth. Alright, so now we've allowed the French toast in all the French toast liquid dip to soak for multiple hours. I'm not going to do a full 7 hours, we did like 4. And now it's time. The oven has been preset and just hit 350 degrees. So now we can move on to the next step to make this amazing breakfast, lunch, or dinner meal dish. So the next step is go ahead and take a 1/4 cup of cold butter and mix it in with our other toppings bowl. All that. Okay. Mix it all together really good. Take just a second. Technically could do this with your hands too. I've done it before. You know, it's like mixing like cookie dough and stuff, you know, together. But silicone, you know, non-stick heat, butter knife kind of thing works pretty well too. Almost done. Mix it all together really, really well. Alright, and that is what the toppings look like. So now what we're going to do is we are going to open this up. Show the before result. That's what it looks like. Two different things with the liquid still there in the bottom. We're going to add the toppings now. Spread it out. Cinnamon swirl bread. This is going to like become just a major enhancement. It's going to almost be like a dessert. Alright. Now we go ahead and put it in the oven. Timer on for 45 minutes first. We'll take a look. And then after 45 minutes, see if it needs any more time or does it look good to pull out and start dishing up. So here we go. Alright, so the next time see the next part of the video, it should be fully done, cooked, brought out, and ready to dish up, and I'll probably even have some pre-cooked up bacon to go with it too. I'll do one that's normal with just syrup on it, that's how my mom wants it, and then the other one for me, I'm probably going to add a little bit of Cool Whip and stuff, with maybe even some Ghirardelli chocolate syrup and caramel syrup on top, and then with a little bit of bacon as well. So I'll see you guys in 45-50 minutes. All right. All right, I just pulled out the French toast baked, which is fully cooked and completed. I pulled it out of the oven, shut off the oven. I will go ahead and show you the end result, and it smells divine. So there is the cinnamon swirl is the bread that is closest to the phone, to the camera, And then the bread that's closest to me is the sourdough. So French toast baked completed. So now we just gotta dish it up and put the proper toppings on it. And then it should be ready to go. And I got a little bit of bacon already cooked up. The one other thing I would recommend if you want to add a little extra something to it, I've done this before in the past, and which is other than these types of toppings, you could also add a little powdered sugar if you want, but also diced up banana would go really good with this flavor combo as well. So let's go ahead and get it dished up. So let's see. They are going to stick together a little bit, so we've got to play with it, finagle it a little bit. So this can serve up to like 8 to 10 people, so not going to eat all this in one shot. Some pieces might even stick together a little bit, so you might be getting 2 pieces at the same time. Get some of the toppings, more toppings to go on mine. Mom wanted just syrup. Got Butterworth's, Miss Butterworth's. So that's what it looks like, all done. Do the simple version. Make mine a little bit more gourmet. Butter for the syrup first. And if I did about 50 minutes, so a little over the required 45. If I wanted to make it more crispy, I'd do an additional 10. Ghirardelli caramel. Ghirardelli chocolate. So there's a more gourmet version. You know, the only other thing I could do is add powdered sugar, maybe some diced up banana if I wanted to. But I don't have any banana, so I'm not going to overdo it with the sugar either. So, so that is pretty much French toast baked. It smells phenomenal. It smells like pecan pie and homemade fresh warm cinnamon rolls. It's freaking awesome. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit like, hit subscribe, make any comments if you want. What else would you maybe add to it? How would you change it? What breads would you use? Make any comments that you would want. Hope you make it yourself at some point and you try it out. Hope you enjoy it if you do. And you guys have a good holiday season. Stay safe and enjoy this awesome gourmet French toast baked meal. All right. You guys have a good day and a good night and take care. All right, bye.